numbers keep adding up,
Bro.
and the total gets larger and larger. If you add up all deaths that the Bible attributes to God, you arrive at 2,559,449. 2.5.
What it do? It's Osmo back at it again with some more reactions. You feel me? You feel me? It's day 6. We on the second hand. We was on one hand, now we on 2 hands. You feel me? 6 days in a row of non-stop Osmo. Man, it's crazy. Like I feel accomplished. Honestly, I can't lie. I know it's just 6 days, but hey, I can't help the way I feel, man. I feel good, man. Today I got something a little different, a little spiritual. You feel me? I got God's biblical kill count explained by whatever the hell his name is. I can't even pronounce his channel name. Honestly, I'm gonna keep it a buck. But hey, man, if you like the content, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, man. We doing this, bro. Like I said, next year, it's a whole new me, man. I'm trying to change my whole everything. Just everything is gonna change, you feel me? And I want you to ride along with the journey, man. Hey, all the people who are subs now, you know, they're gonna look back and be like, man, I remember what Osmo's family only had such and such subs, but only had 75 subs. I remember when I subbed to him, and he only had 30 subs. Like, I appreciate that shit, man. We're gonna go all the way. We're going to the moon, you feel me? Yeah, I'm about to hop right into it. Let's do it. Boom.
It's no secret that the God of the Bible has a darker side. Throughout the Old Testament, God is responsible for a whole slew of natural disasters, from erasing life on Earth in a world-ending flood to unleashing devastating plagues of biblical proportions. Like it or not, God has a death toll. Question is, has anyone gone through the Bible and counted it? Armed with a calculator, a spreadsheet, and a King James version, I have done just that. I want to figure out how many people in the Bible can list God as a cause of death. Turns out, there is a precise number, and it's in the millions. It's a horrifying statistic, especially compared with Satan, who has a measly 10. But what does this mean? What's the explanation?
How does... How you go... Wait, I'm confused. How he gonna be like, God got millions of kills on his belt, but Satan only got 10? 10? You really saying the devil only got 10? Come on, that's cap, bro. We all know that's cap. You know that's cap, bro. Come on.
Behind this figure, all this and more as we unravel God's biblical kill count. Our search begins in the Old Testament, the section of the Bible that covers the history of Israel. Within these pages, you're never too far away from a biblical disaster, like when God engulfs an entire city in flames. This violent depiction of God has always fascinated me. It's so different to the peaceful God of the New Testament. I want to find an explanation for this behaviour, one that's rooted in the history of this book. But to know what we're dealing with, we need some numbers. How many people does God actually kill in the Bible? So I opened up a copy and began counting. It felt like going through a celebrity's Twitter feed and finding some unsavory things from the past. But instead of old tweets, it was the Old Testament. Here are some examples of what I found. And fire came out from the Lord and consumed 250 men. Then the Lord sent poisonous serpents among the people, and they bit the people, so that many Israelites died. At midnight, the Lord struck down all the firstborn in the land of Egypt. I collected them into a single spreadsheet. This vast document records God's biblical death count. Each entry has a brief description and a corresponding biblical verse. I'm not the first to attempt this, by the way. I've relied at times on the work of Steve Wells, an author whose book and website contain a meticulously thorough list. In the Bible, deaths caused by God fall into 2 categories. One with exact numbers and one without numbers at all. I'll start my search in the parts where the Bible gives precise figures. Some of these biblical outbursts incur a very high death toll indeed. like when 50,070 men are pulverized for glimpsing inside the Ark of the Covenant.
Facts.
But that's nothing compared to the time when God sends an angel to wipe out 185,000 soldiers in one night. It's nice to see a Bible-accurate angel
Like, come
in its natural
on, bro.
habitat.
Like, hold on, bro. I'm trying to, like, just ignore my inner self who wants to, like, speak. Because every time I pause this thing, there's a chance that it's going to freeze on me. But, like, you can't just leave out, like, the parts where the devil's involved. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like God was like, all right, y'all gonna die. Like, he had a very good reason. Good reason. And, I'm gonna just play the video.
Other incidents are plain strange. In one story, a group of boys tease the prophet Elisha for being bald. They say, and I'm directly quoting here, "Go away, bald head. Go away, bald head." Upset by these hurtful comments, the prophet calls upon
them kids
God
was
to
trolling.
teach the boys
They was
some manners.
early trolls,
Suddenly,
bro.
a pack of bears appear to eat 42 of them. I'm still not sure what the moral to this tale is. Don't tease bald people? The numbers keep adding up,
Bro.
and the total gets larger and larger. If you add up all deaths that the Bible attributes to God, you arrive at 2,559,449. 2.5 million. Compare that with the 10 deaths attributed
What?
to Satan. An overwhelming majority comes from the Old Testament. There are only 4 God-related deaths from the New Testament. It's a big statistic for sure, but we're not even close to the real figure. So far, we've only counted deaths where the Bible gives an exact number. We haven't added up the parts where no number is given. For example, how many people is a city or an army? 1,000? 10,000? The best we can do is use historical estimates and rely on educated guesswork. Adding them all up, the number now jumps to 4,681,160.
Wait, this nigga wild, man. This nigga wild, bro. 4 million? You going wait? Bro, this is why you need to read your Bible. Don't just listen to people like this who just throw things together and be like, oh yeah, this is highly accurate, bro. Read your Bible, dude, and you'll understand what the hell's going on, bro. Yeah, God probably did kill these meaning people, bro. But what you don't understand is that a lot of people had to go for your salvation, bro. Think about it. Think about this. You know what I'm saying? Certain things had to have happened to get rid of the wickedness that was going on back then. People were literally sacrificing their babies to a statue. A statue. That's like me taking my son, going down to whatever priest was going on at that point, and being like, here, I want to get my wheat this year, so I'm going to sacrifice my baby. That's the type of people that God was dealing with. Yeah, they gotta go, bro. They gotta go.
Ouch. But there's one more event we haven't yet factored in. The Great Flood in the book of Genesis. The cataclysmic event where God decides to drown everything underwater, sparing Noah and his ark full of animals. Using the internal dating of the Bible, the year of the flood would have been 2348 BC. All we need to do now is figure out what Earth's human population would have been. Historical estimates range from 14 million to 27 million. I'm going to settle somewhere in the middle and say 20 million. Adding this to the count, we arrive at the final number. Ready for it? God's biblical kill count, including the flood and other estimates, is 24,681,116. This is an eye-watering number. To put that into context, that's approximately 34 Hochelagers. Maybe subscriber count is not a helpful metric.
That's how you say his name? Hochelaga? I can't listen to nobody who got like an alchemaic sign as their channel page. Like, obviously he got something going on, bro. This nigga not just some guy who wanted to get information, bro. This guy,
God's
he low-key
divine
might have an
death toll
agenda, bro.
is a
Like, come on.
statistic that some would rather not know. But again, it's using data gathered from the Bible itself. Even if we remove the flood and the various estimations, adding up the exact numbers the Bible gives us is still in the millions. So why is God's biblical kill count so high? And what does this say about God?
Because he's God.
This is a really
What you
difficult
mean?
conundrum in the field of biblical studies.
Trust me,
It's
it'd be a
also
lot
an
more
uncomfortable
people
truth
gone,
that's
bro.
kept religious
It'd
thinkers
be a lot more
occupied.
people gone in
In fact, this debate goes back to the dawn of Christianity itself. In 144 AD, a Christian thinker called Marcion had an idea. What if there are two gods? A vengeful God of the Old Testament and a loving God of the New Testament. Marcionism, as it came to be known, was a popular theory in its day. Having two gods explained why there's such a discrepancy between the two opposite depictions of him. But Marcion and his two gods theory was swiftly denounced as one of the very first Christian heresies. His critics accused him of cherry-picking. You can't just remove the bits you don't like. Plus, isn't there supposed to be one God?
You know why? Because these critics read the Bible. The Bible says that you can't just cherry pick. Everything you say has to align with the whole Bible, bro. Like, come on. I think it's something like, it has to stand on precept upon precept, something like that. You can't just cherry pick, bro. Come on.
Like it or not, the Old Testament God is here to stay. So, how else have people attempted to explain his death toll? There are plenty of religious and theological explanations for God's biblical kill count. But I think the one rooted in history is the most satisfying. To understand God in the Old Testament, you have to understand the world the Old Testament came from. To the ancient Hebrews living in 500 BC, God was depicted as a great king, ruling creation from his celestial throne in the sky. Now, an ancient king does two things. The first is to uphold the law. The Old Testament is full of sacred rules. There are 613 of them. Like, don't worship false idols, and keep the Sabbath day holy. A lot of deaths in the Old Testament are because people break God's rules. Worshipping a golden calf, zap. Collecting wood on the Sabbath day, zap. Opening the Ark of the Covenant, mega zap. In every instance, people are told not to, but they do it anyway. The death penalty may seem harsh, but those are the rules. Disobey a divine law and expect a divine punishment. An eye for an eye, as the biblical saying goes. A saying, incidentally, that's been borrowed from King Hammurabi's Code, a collection of Babylonian laws that predate the Bible considerably. Like any good Mesopotamian king, the God of the Old Testament was a divine rule maker. Judge, jury, and executioner too.
Bro, now I'm gonna say it. He said that it predates the Bible. Correct, bro. But how you gonna predate God? Before that Babylonian king was around, there was men who worshiped God. Maybe he got it from those people. You know what I'm saying? Before the Bible exists, people act like God from the Bible didn't exist. Like God only existed when men made the Bible. Like, no, bro. People were worshiping God before the Bible. Like, this is horrendously out of context, bro. Horrendously.
Maintaining law and order is only half of a king's duties. What else does an ancient ruler do? He goes to war. A large proportion of God's biblical deaths are connected to warfare, whether that be granting Israelites victory in battle or using superpowered angels to demolish enemy armies. Similar to the deities of neighbouring societies, the biblical God was viewed as the protector of a nation, and so was often described as a warrior. In fact, one of the oldest bits in the Bible, the Song of Moses, is a poem praising God's military might. The Lord is a warrior, the Lord is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and his army he cast into the ocean. His chosen officers were sunk in the Red Sea. It's the closest thing you get to biblical heavy metal. The writers behind the Old Testament wanted to describe God.
I don't understand what he's saying. Were the Jews supposed to stay in Egypt and be horrendously mistreated by Pharaoh? Like, God was supposed to just be like, well, I can't do nothing because, I don't want to kill them. Like, no, bro. God is going to fight for his people. Like, it just don't make no sense.
As a powerful king,
It don't make no
a
sense to
king
me.
who upholds the law and ensures success on the battlefield. It's a gruesome affair. But hey, who said being a king was easy? Compared with other ancient deities, the biblical God is a pretty nice guy. Take the flood story. At least God is described as
See, this is the devil right here. The devil trying to look at the devil trying to stop me from doing this video. Hold on, man. Boom.
the biblical God is a pretty nice guy. Take the flood story. At least God is described as regretting his decision. In another version of this ancient myth, the Epic of Atrahasis, the reason why the gods drown humankind is for partying too loud. Centuries later, when the New Testament writings came along, Christian writers no longer used words like judge and warrior to describe their God. Instead, they used words like father. Now, fathers don't execute their subordinates. They forgive them, which is why forgiveness and grace are such big themes in Christianity. That's why God's biblical kill count feels so jarring. This gigantic statistic is a hang-up from the Old Testament. These ancient Hebrew writers pictured God in a very different way than we do today. To them, death was simply part and parcel of being a god.
Who is this on this coin? This is not like, come on. This is not a picture of God. When God directly told the Jews, don't make no pictures of me. Like, come on, bro. Like, he's trying to deceive y'all. He really is trying to deceive y'all. I'm not gonna even cap.
Combing through the Bible and calculating God's death toll culminates with a frightening number. It can be quite hard to make sense of. I'm not religious myself, so I find historical explanations like these the most helpful. It's one of those head-scratching questions that have kept people busy, and probably will do for centuries to come.
Nah, bro, I ain't scratching my head on nothing, bro. I can explain everything he literally just said. Bro, let's take Sodom and Gomorrah, right? He said he blew up the whole town, bro. They were literally dragging people out and anally raping them, bro. It came to the point where the dude tried to offer his daughter some actual women, and they said, no, we want the boys. We want the men. We want the booty. And they was going to drag them out and rape them. That's what they was just doing just because, bro. Yeah, I'm not mad, bro, that God blew up the town, bro. And matter of fact, before he went over there, what's the name said, if you find 5 people, don't blow up the town. And God was like, okay, if I could even find 5 people, then I won't even blow up. No, God couldn't even do it. Matter of fact, the devil, because of the devil, we all die. You know, so we all fall short of the glory of God because of what? We all succumb to sin. We all succumb to the temptations of the flesh and are led astray by the devil. If it wasn't for the devil, we would all still be good. You know what I'm saying? To say that God was just willy-nilly just offing people is just horrendously misaccurate and just wrong, bro. Just wrong, bro. The flood. You say bro, in those times, it says the land was filled with violence, meaning men were just killing men. Like, I mean, I'm not going to go into all kinds of conspiracies or whatever, but things were wild back then, bro. Wild. They say that giants roamed the land and that the fallen angels were teaching men all kinds of witchcraft and all kinds of crazy, beyond things you can't even imagine, bro. Yeah, God had to hit a hard restart on everything, bro. What is he talking about? This shit blew my mind. I was not expecting this kind of video. I thought he was going to say some numbers and be like, oh yeah, he did this and that. But he's literally like trying to be like God low-key kind of vicious. Like, what? This shit is crazy, bro. This was a crazy video. Bro. But yeah. If you like the content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, man. I'm in this beat, you feel me? We locked in. Like I said, next year it's gonna be, man, it's gonna be crucial. I can't wait to just next year to start, man. For real, man. 2023 is a new me, you feel me? You feel me? Hey, let me know in the comment section if you're locked in right now. I need you to go to the comment section right now and leave a padlock. Let me know you locked in with me, bro. I don't know what's going on with this. This video was crazy, bro. Crazy. crazy, bro. Don't let people like this just tell you something about the Bible and you ain't read the Bible, they ain't read the Bible. They're just saying something, they're just copying and pasting what some other person said and they ain't read the Bible. Like, read things for yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? I actually take the time to read other books of religion like the Quran and I forgot the thing the Buddhist people read because I wanted to understand it. And once I understood it, I was like, you know what? The Bible still seems more right to me. You know what I'm saying? Read that thing, man. People are crazy. This is crazy. I'm out of here, man. Catch you guys on the next one.